be doing a checkup on our pumpkin that we are growing inside of a pumpkin. So it has been about 9 days since we last looked at our pumpkin. We planted it. In case you didn't know, growing any type of plant sometimes takes quite a while. So we are going to be looking today to see if there are any changes, and I am so excited because I've been checking and watering the plant, and there are some exciting changes today that actually weren't even here yesterday. So I'm so excited to share and show you guys the awesome things that are happening in our pumpkin. We're also going to write down our first observation about our pumpkin because there is a little bit of change, and we're going to write down some things we see, some things we notice, and even draw a picture. All right, so starting off, just looking at it, our pumpkin, still orange, it is a little sticky on the outside, and I'm not really sure why, but still looks about the same on the outside. Our top, which you'll be able to see in a minute, the top part where we cut is discolored a little. One interesting thing is that when we planted this pumpkin, I made sure that the soil was really far down. I told you guys, and it's hard to tell because I have a black shirt, so I'm gonna put this on. You guys will notice our pumpkin soil got really tall. And that's how this morning when I walked outside, I was like, what happened to the pumpkin? Like, I thought maybe a squirrel or a bird got to it because I had it outside, and I was like, oh no. But you'll be able to see, I'll do a close-up, it's pushed up because there is something that is working its way out of our pumpkin right now that is pushing that soil up, so it's very exciting. So overall, from the basic outside of this, we can tell it looks pretty normal. Our soil is definitely much taller than when we planted it. It is drier, so I have been watering it, but it's not as wet, so it has dried. Ooh, that's actually a piece of, that's like a fibrous strand right there sticking out. I don't know how that came out. Interesting. So lots of different things coming out of this pumpkin. We'll zoom in so we can see a little bit more. This is very exciting. So once we're done observing it, we're gonna actually write down, like I said in our journal, our first observation. So you are gonna need your pumpkin lap book if you have it. And let's get a closer look at what this pumpkin looks like. Okay, looking above, so like I said, the outside's still pretty normal. Looking, this, where we cut our pumpkin, before you could see was definitely a lighter orange. It's very, very light now. It's where it's drying out. It's also sucked in a lot of the soil, so like right here, that's it too, but it's hard to tell because that's actually just stained with dirt. You can kind of see a little bit right here, some stuff happening. Hopefully you see a little bit of green. I'll show you from a different angle as well. But we do have some sprouts coming in. This is also, this one right here, it's a really tiny dot. That's actually the fibrous strand is saying that. I've never seen that. It's sticking straight up. But we do have, if you look, it looks like, trying to be very careful because I don't want to break anything. 1, 2 sprouts that are coming in. But I'm guessing from how the soil is right now, we're gonna have a few more popping up hopefully soon. So let's even look at it from the side now. All right, so from the side you can see little sprouts. So let me turn it closer. We actually have, here's our sprout. Here's a fibrous strand that was sticking right up. So we have our sprout. If we look closer, there's another one coming in. Okay, so now that we've actually observed our pumpkin, we looked at it, let's record what we saw. So I have my lap book. Remember, we've already done the cover, we did our label. We're gonna be adding a few more things to the inside. So we already learned all about our pumpkin, where we measured it, weighed it, we looked at it really closely, and we talked about what my pumpkin needs. And I would say it's probably getting what it needs since we see some growth. We're gonna put our word bank here and then our observations here. So our word bank is a place where we can keep words that we may want to use when we're writing, words that we see as we are doing observations. And it looks like this. So I still need to cut mine out and glue it in. I'm gonna quickly color in these little pictures, and
my words. You don't have to do it. This could be something you do when you're done, up to you. I'm gonna do it really quick, and I'm just using my normal crayons again today. Again, these are small, tiny words. You can't fit all the way in. That's fine. It's okay if it gets a little bit out of the line. So, a word bank. You'll see there's lines. On these lines, we're going to be writing different words that we may want to use when we're doing observations. This is a good place for when I am learning about something new, that I can record words, write down the words that maybe I've never heard before, or maybe they're words that are hard to sound out. I don't know how to spell. I love to use word banks because I sometimes forget how to spell lots of things, and that's okay. But I like it because I can spell them and then put them right there, and then when I go back later, I can remember. It's also a good way for learning new words, for you to be able to go back and share what those words are and what they mean, because sometimes we learn words, especially in science, that we don't use every day. So I'm going to cut this rectangle out. I don't need the other pieces. And glue this down. So again, remember you can turn your paper, that way your scissors stay facing forward and they're easier to cut. You can put your trash in a little pile. If you have a little bucket at your table to put it in, you can put it in there, or you can just save it in the pile like I said for later and then throw all our trash away. So, got my glue stick. Remember, when I'm gluing things down, the whole page does not need to be covered because it is not that heavy. Press it down, and we have our word bank. I'm going to actually glue in my observation page while I'm doing that too, and then we're going to get started with our writing and our drawing. So your observation page, this page, are you ready? This is a page that is double-sided, meaning it has things on both sides because we're going to actually use both. If you go to this side where there's 1, 2, 3, and then this big side says glue this side down, see that? Glue this side down, there's a line. If it's not already folded, what we're going to do is we're going to fold on this line so that this and this are on our outside, okay? So I'm going to fold, and what I like to say too is you can match up corners, corner to corner, corner to corner, and then press down, okay? Smooth it down with your finger. So now I have a skinny rectangle that has smaller squares, and then I have a side that says glue the side down. We're not done yet though. Open this back up after you folded it, okay? Do you see how it's bent? Turn it so the little 3 ones are facing your belly. We're gonna get our scissors and pay attention. We're gonna cut these dotted lines, but I'm gonna stop at the fold, okay? So I'm gonna start at one of them and go cut, cut, stop once I get to that fold, okay? And you made a little flap. I'm gonna do the same thing to this one. Cut, 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 stop. Don't go past the fold. So now you have a solid side and a flappy side. You can fold those back down so we just see our solid side, and it says glue this side down. Are you ready? Get your glue. I'm going to do a whole rectangle around the edges, and then I'm going to actually make a glue line straight down where it says glue this side down. Okay, now what we're going to do, flip this over, and you're going to glue it down right next to what the pumpkin needs, okay? Press it down. Perfect. Okay, here's what's neat about this. Are you ready? So I have 1, 2, 3 of these. Guess what happens? Ta-da! I made a little booklet, kind of. So I can record my pumpkin 1, 2, 3 different times. And scientists don't always just use words to record. They use numbers, they use pictures, they use lots of different things. You can put your scissors away now. Make sure to also that your glue stick is closed so it doesn't dry out. So we're gonna have 3 chances to observe our pumpkin. We're gonna record the date like a real scientist would so we know when that happened. We're gonna draw a picture of what our pumpkin looks like, and then inside we're gonna also write words. So this way, if someone else is looking at my information, they know what I saw. I'm sharing with them what I saw. So I think we should start first with our picture. I like to start with the picture first when I'm doing it just because it helps me think of what I want to write for my observation. I usually say do your picture last when we're doing other writing. This one, I'm going to do my picture first because I want to think about what I'm seeing as I'm drawing it. And I want to think about, okay, what could I write about that? So, this is going to be realistic. Do you think it's going to look exactly like our pumpkin? Maybe not. I'm going to do the best I can. I am not a perfect artist. I am not a big scientist. I can't do it exactly how it is, but I'm going to do the best I can, just like you will. So first I'm going to write today's date. Today's date is October, and I'm going to use a pen just so you can see. I would suggest using a pencil though, because sometimes it's easier to do. October. So it's a capital O because it's a month. C-T-O-B-E-R. October. I'm going to do October 10th. Okay. And you could do the year if you want. If you don't want to, we can add the little TH at the top for October 10th. And this is so we can keep track of how it changes over time. So I have my date, my next step. I want to draw my pumpkin. So I am going to use colors. First, I'm going to just draw. Again, I'm going to use pen just so you can see it a little bit better. I would suggest using a pencil. I'm actually a little nervous using pen because I don't want to mess it up. I'm going to fill up most of the space with my pumpkin because I don't have a lot of other things to show besides pretty much the pumpkin and our little tiny sprouts. So I'm going to do our pumpkin shape. It's kind of like a U, a really fat U. Okay. And then I'm going to kind of do like a smiley face. And then like a frowny face almost. Okay. So that's my actual pumpkin. And then I'm going to draw right here an upside down U, or almost like an N, and then do it like a little tiny one inside of it. And then right here next to it I have another, I'm just going to do the N. And these are actually the little sprouts that I see. So if I were to leave it like this, no one would probably know what I drew, or what it was. So before I do that though, because I was just thinking, oh, I just said some words that I might want to use. So I'm going to write, these are words that I might want. I'm going to write sprout on my word bank. So that's S-P-R-R-S-P-R. And then we're going to write the word out, which is tricky. O-U-T. Sprout. If I'm talking and I say there's more than one, I could always, when I'm writing, add the S to it to make sprouts. So there's multiple. I also have, over here I have soil, so I don't need to write that. I might want to write what color. So I don't have colors over here. So I'm going to write, our sprouts are kind of green. So G-R-G-E, which is 2 E's. N. Green. And it has some yellow, so I'm going to write yellow. Y-E-L. 2 L's. This actually spells the word yell. And then O, which is actually O-W. Lots of different letters and patterns can actually make the O sound. This is one of them. Yellow. I think other color, you know what other color we see, because I'm going to use it next, is orange. This is such a It's such a strange word. Orange. So we're gonna write or, if you know how to spell or, O-R, or A, N, and then orange. So we have orange. Are you ready? This is tricky because it sounds like a J, but it's actually G-E, orange. So just drawing, I thought of some different words I might want to use. So we have orange, which this is yellow, orange. Actually, I think I want my red orange. My outside of my pumpkin is orange. So I'm going to want to color that in orange. And as you're coloring, go ahead and think about all the things we could write about. Okay, so I finished coloring it. You guys can see I used different colors. I did a red orange for my outside of my pumpkin, and then I did a yellow orange for the inside. I did use yellow green. I forgot I had a yellow green crayon, which will go perfect for our sprouts. And then I tried to add like darker spots of brown for the soil, because like we saw, the soil's kind of moving up. So I wanted to show like some parts are moving, which is kind of hard to show, which is why we can write that. So after I've done this, I'm gonna open this up. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 lines. If we don't fill it all in, that's okay. We can do the best that we can. So one thing I think I want to write is that our pumpkin, I'm gonna say the, we're gonna start at the beginning of a sentence, so capital T, H-E, the, make sure you have a space. Pumpkin, which if we don't know how to spell pumpkin, I have lots of places I can look. There's outside, there's right under this flap, but there's also right here, so I'm just gonna use that one, pumpkin. So P-U-M-P-K-I-N, and then we're gonna do another space, and then has, H-A-S, and I want to write how many sprouts. It has 2. So when I'm writing numbers, I would actually spell out the word 2, which is T-W-O, 2 sprouts. So I, over here, already wrote sprouts, so I can look over there. But if I leave it like I wrote it there, it says, the pumpkin has 2 sprouts. I have 2 sprouts, so I need to add that S, and then I'm going to put a period. Sometimes my sentence will end up perfect, where it fits right on one line. If it doesn't, we just go to the next line. Okay, so I want to describe my sprouts. The sprouts, again, beginning of a sentence, so capital, the sprouts, space, and then we're going to write R, A-R-E-A. I'm going to say the sprouts are a yellow-green color. So we're going to write yellow, which I wrote over here. Yellow. And then we're going to do a little dash, because yellow-green is going to be mixed together. But you can see, there's no way I can fit green right there. So I'm going to go down here. Green color. C-O-L-O-R, period. I probably have room for one more sentence, so I'm going to say the soil, and if I don't know how to spell soil, it's right here, S-O-I-L. The soil And I could say lots of things. It's bumpy, it has hills. I'm going to say it's moving though, because it used to be flat and it is not flat anymore. So I'm going to say the soil is moving. So we're going to write M-O-V-I-N-G. And inside, and this is a compound word where I'm putting two words together, and then side, S-I-D-E, the pumpkin. That is an exclamation point because that's kind of exciting. I was so excited when I saw it today. So here's my observation. The pumpkin has two sprouts. The sprouts are a yellow-green color. The soil is moving inside the pumpkin. I actually think I want to write, I thought of it while I was thinking, while I was writing this. I think I want to write the word inside over here, I-N-S-I-D-E, because I think I might use that more maybe. So these again are words that I might want to use a lot or words that I'm just learning. But inside I feel like is a word I might want to use later. So we have our first observation done. I can't wait to see what happens in the next few days and see if we can maybe get some more sprouts. All right, so go ahead, you can put this away, and I hope you guys are enjoying it.